Okay, welcome to the Murray City Municipal Council for December 10th, 2019. For those of you who have cell phones, if you would put them on silent, I would really appreciate that. And we'll start out with the Pledge of Allegiance, and I've asked Melinda Greenwood, since she's going to be up here a lot, to do our pledge. Thanks, Melinda.
You'll stand and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good job. Okay, I would also like to indicate that all council members are present, as is the mayor. And first we have approval of minutes for the council meeting for November 19th, 2019. Are there any changes, comments? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I'll move that we approve the council meeting minutes from November 19th, 2019.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Now we come to the fun part. It's the special recognition, or sad part. I mean, it depends. It's good and bad. Anyway, the first one is to consider a joint resolution of the Mayor and Municipal Council of Murray City expressing gratitude and appreciation to Dave Nikponsky for his contributions to the community as a city council member, and Dale Cox will be presenting. Dale?
Well, this saves me a trip to come down here later, a public comment. I just want, before I get started on this, I want to tell Jim and Dave how much I've appreciated working with them the last couple of years and how much I've learned from them. And with that, a joint resolution of the Mayor and the Municipal Council of Murray City expressing gratitude and appreciation to Dave Nikponsky for his dedication as a City Council member. Whereas Dave Nikponsky represented District 1 of Murray City Council member from January 1st to 2012 through December 31st, 2019, and whereas Murray City desires to express its appreciation for these years of dedicated work and service performed by Mr. Nikponsky as an elected official, and whereas during Dave's term as council member, he accepted the challenge to serve as City Council Chair, Vice Chair, Budget and Finance Committee Chair, and Vice Chair, Valley Emergency Communications, Center Board Representative, Association of Multiple Counties, and councils, whereas he served in each capacity with thoroughness, thoughtfulness, and commitment, and Dave's primary focus was concentrated on the benefits for Murray City businesses and residents. And whereas the city has fallen behind, or had fallen behind, in police vehicle restoration following the recession of 2008, Dave was instrumental in motivating council members to approve a program acquiring over 26 new vehicles in 1 year to ensure the future safety of Murray residents. And whereas his leadership and participation on the Capital Improvement Program Committee has left his fingerprints on Murray's future, and Dave's presence at the state legislature proved beneficial on many occasions in furthering Murray's position. And now, therefore, be it resolved by the Mayor and Municipal Council of Murray City that the city recognizes and expresses its most sincere gratitude to Dave Nikponsky for his collaboration, contributions, and advancements of Murray City. Passed and approved and adopted this 10th day of December, 2019.
Speech.
Speak from the podium.
Before?
Here.
Okay, before you speak, Dave, I'm going to make a motion that we accept this. So if that's okay. Yeah, okay?
Sure.
Okay. So I move that we accept the resolution, and I'm just simply going to say the resolution from the council and the mayor for expressing appreciation to Dave Naponsky.
I'll second. Do we do a roll call? Jennifer?
Aye.
Aye.
I love it.
Aye.
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 Okay.
Okay, now speech.
I'll keep it brief. You know, when I first got elected, I had no idea what was in store for me. I was a little bit nervous and afraid, because it was a daunting task. It's something I'd worked the other side of, but I've never actually been an elected official. I've worked with elected officials for over 30 years, but I never acted as one. So when I came on board, I met with department directors, and I realized just how easy things were going to be, because Murray City is fortunate to have not only an outstanding mayor, but a capable and outstanding council, but more importantly, directors, police chief, the fire chief, public works director, parks and rec, their director. I mean, I could go on and on, planning and zoning. We have got exceptional talent in each of these departments, and we are the beneficiaries of their fine employee force that's out there working for Murray every day. And so I just want to thank them and congratulate them for the outstanding job they do and making it easy for me as a councilman over these last 8 years. Thank you very much. Oh, and I want to, you know, I almost forgot, but I want to thank my wife.
Never mind, Jerry.
I wouldn't have been able to make it through this. Thank you, Jerry. I love you. All right.
All right. Good job.
I'm not going down there.
Okay, number 2 is consider a joint resolution of the Mayor and Municipal Council of Murray City expressing gratitude and appreciation to Jim Brass for his contributions to the community as a city council member. Okay, do I have a motion?
Want me to read that first?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's okay. That's okay.
You should do that.
Okay. Okay. So a joint resolution of the mayor and municipal county of Murray City expressing gratitude and appreciation to Jim Brass for his contributions to the community as a city council member. Whereas Jim Brass represented District 3 as a Murray City Council member from January 1st, 1894 through... Okay, I had to. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
It was 95.
It was 95. I could not resist. It was 1922. But anyway, okay. Now I'm going to get serious on this. Wherein Jim Brass represented District 3 as a Murray City Council member from January 1st, 2004 through December 31st, 2019. And whereas Murray City wishes to express its admiration and appreciation for these years of dedicated work and community service performed by Mr. Brass, an elected city council member. And whereas during Jim's term as a council member, he served in various key positions, including city council chair, and that's probably not just once, that's probably several times, and vice chair, redevelopment agency chair, and vice chair, and budget and finance committee chair, and vice chair, serving during one of the most critical, this is really important, one of the most critical economic downturns the city has ever faced, analyzing every line item for savings and challenging city personnel to do more with less. And I know I'm going to add a little bit that was a big thing for Jim, that to make sure that there was no layoffs. That was huge for Jim. I remember him telling me that my entire 8 years, that was huge for him. And whereas Jim stepped forward to serve on several interlocal agency boards, including the Central Valley Water Reclamation, Board for 14 years, the Wasatch Front Waste and Recycling Board for 7 years, the Murray Area Chamber of Commerce, and the Association of Municipal Councils. Whereas in each capacity, Jim served with dignity, integrity, and genuine dedication on behalf of Murray City residents. He demonstrated exceptional judgment on every issue, ensuring an improved quality of life for the community he loves. And whereas Jim has been a champion for sorry, yeah, got a little emotional there for ADA provisions, which shows his love for his wife, that exceeds mere compliance. I was not expecting to do that. And his expertise in power and land use matters will long be remembered as a model exemplary leadership. And now, therefore, be it resolved by the mayor and municipal council of Murray City that the city express its most sincere appreciation and gratitude to Jim Brass for his 16 years of unparalleled service and contributions that are recognized now and into the future. Passed and approved this 10th day, December 2008, if we pass that. But anyway, big hand for Jim.
Yes, I was going to. Okay, I would entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we approve a joint resolution of the mayor and municipal council of Murray City expressing gratitude and appreciation to Jim Brass for his contributions to the community as a city council member.
I'll second.
All right, Jennifer, would you read the roll?
Mr. Helps.
Aye.
Mr. Navasky.
Aye.
Aye.
Mr. Brass.
Aye.
Ms. Turner.
Aye. All right.
All right.
Again, thanks, Jim. Speech.
Yeah. Who knew? 16 years. I started out of planning and zoning before that and ran for council, and here we are. Dave said most of it. It's been a pleasure. The people who work for the city of Murray truly are a family. I think that's one of the things I'll miss the most is the association, not only with the council, but everybody else. The department heads, many of the employees become friends. And that's what I love about this city is it still is a small town. We all get to know each other. It's been, I want to thank my wife, Jennifer. I'd ask her to stand, but she'd hit me. And I've got my daughter here, Dr. Jamie Brass, who came down from Layton. I really do appreciate that. My kids had to put up with this for a long time. I was involved with the school district for a while. I was on the Murray Education Foundation, so they couldn't get away with anything throughout their entire childhood and life. I told them if they got pulled over and used my name, I'd have them thrown in jail. So they put up with, I guess, the worst of it. But I do want to thank all of our employees. I've said this a million times. We get phone calls from constituents, and we either call the mayor's office or the department heads, and it gets done, and it gets done so fast. It's amazing. I'm gonna pick on one guy because I've worked with him a lot in Central Valley, Danny Astle. I mentioned that my neighbor who was elderly and having financial difficulties and had been cheated by a sprinkler company, and I asked if he knew anybody reputable to come fix their sprinklers. And I went out to throw something in the house about 5:30 one night, and Danny's out digging in the yard fixing the sprinklers. That's the type of people we have. And it makes, as a council member, it makes our life easy. See, I tell everybody I got to run 3 terms unopposed because of our employees doing stuff when I needed it done. So I want to thank all of you for your service to Murray and all the things you've done for us. It has truly been a pleasure. Thank you.
Mayor, your name is also on this resolution. Do you have a comment?
It is, and yes, I do I get the opportunity of saying a few words here in another event coming up too. But I do want to take just a moment and express my appreciation to both of you. I know that serving on the council, and I enjoyed serving with you on the council, and I know it's a thankless job, and sometimes it's difficult to sit there and up there and make those difficult decisions. But thank you for doing that. Thank you for your time that you've served, and most of all, best wishes for the future. Whatever you find yourself doing, I hope you enjoy it. So thank you.
Great.
Thank you. Diane, one more thing. I'm remiss. I want to wish Rosalba good luck in filling my seat. Rosalba Dominguez is in the back. She will take this seat next month. So best of luck.
Did you like how he said good luck?
All right. Now we're to our special recognition is a Exchange Club presentation from Sherry Van Bibber, Jay Bullwinkle, Brandon Birmingham presenting. You guys, it's your turn. It's good to see you, by the way.
Thanks for having us. I have to say, Jim, how many years on planning and zoning?
3. Just 3.
Just 3. It seemed like 30. Jim trained me for planning and zoning, so I was grateful to have that opportunity, and for better or for worse for Murray. Just grateful for the example that everybody has set up here. We wanted to share with the city was so kind to hand us the Haunted Woods about 5 years ago. And the Murray Exchange Club, if you've ever heard of a Rotary Club, we're kind of similar, but we're the Murray Exchange Club. And it basically focuses, the core values are on family, community, and country. And if you ever see the 4th of July parade, we're at the front giving out 12,000 flags with the Chamber of Commerce. And everything we do is together. We call ourselves kind of the service group of the Chamber of Commerce and of the city. So whenever something needs to be done, we ask them to call us, and we'll figure out a way to take care of it. We work on putting freedom shrines out, giving out the American flag, Americanism, promoting service and involving our youth in the community. And so when we got the chance to take on, we'd wanted a project that we could raise money so that we could give back. The main platform is the prevention of child abuse and domestic violence. And we wanted to find a project that we could give back for that financially. And the city was cutting back, and they were going to give up the Haunted Woods and a few other projects. And so we thought that would be the perfect tie-in for the prevention of child abuse, to take that on and use those funds. They did it 2 nights in October, and they'd done it for 30-some years at the time. About 30-some years at the time. And so Murray had a reputation because it was the only Haunted Woods where every age little kids could come to. And so when they were going to cut it out, they got all kinds of phone calls and said, no, you can't stop doing it. So the Exchange Club decided to take it on. And with the help of Jim and Jennifer and the Chamber, we took it on. They were doing it 2 nights a week. We took it to 3 nights a week. Every year, it's kind of grown. Has anyone here ever been to it?
Oh, yes.
If you're not working in it, you've been to it. And eventually, hopefully, y'all will work there with us. And I was going to say, I pull into the Parks and Rec office and I start getting PTSD already for next year. But my doctor loves it because I always end up in his office. But we do, it's a lot. We wanted to share, we did about 1,750 hours this year. We had a group come in and volunteer, and they built a set. And it's growing. We have this awesome set, and trying to store that. When you open our storage unit, it'll scare you to death because of the 6-foot pumpkin man that's in there. We opened it the other night, and yeah. Anyway, just finding a way to store everything for the next year is going to be a challenge, but it's a good challenge. We, in the past, this kind of has where our funds sit. Do you want to share?
Do you want me to go over that?
Yeah, you go over that.
So 2 or 3 years ago, Chris Ruppel came and joined our group to help with the Haunted Woods, and he is a social media advertiser, and he took us from a small number to a huge number. So this last year, we almost made $20,000. You can see the other numbers that are there, but the year before we would have made more, but weather is a huge factor. Our Monday rained, so it didn't do as good last year as we did this year. So with a lot of help to get to here. We kind of are the exchange company. There's the members in the room, but we have a lot of our Excel Club for the youth that Sherry works with comes and helps. We have how many hundreds of people? There's a lot of people that come and help us with this event. So it's been a fun community event to have. Why we've been doing this over the years. But you can see the YouTube video followers and the Facebook followers, and those get bigger every year. So all those folks could come year after year.
Well, I wanted to share too, for the past 4 years, we've had 2 clubs from Skyline High School. American Preparatory comes on Saturday morning with 30 kids, and it is like angels coming through the woods to help us start setting everything up. We have 4 or 5 clubs from Murray High School. We have Ames. We finally had to start telling people we couldn't use everybody this year. But we give a stipend back to the clubs, the school clubs, for them helping us. And then on the day of giving, this past Tuesday, we were able to give back to the YWCA Shelter Kids, the PCA, which is the Prevention of Child Abuse Utah, the Frank Cordova Foundation, which is to our Title I 2 schools, Horizon and Parkside. We were able to participate in giving all of the families turkeys for that. Kidsy, we're going to give them $1,000 tomorrow. The Family VA Center in Murray, and the Children's Justice Center. Those are a few of where, and we still have more to do. We're going to help wherever there's a need at Christmas, and we continue to work all throughout the year. We've helped with getting furnaces when there's been needs with families and other different things. So we would love for anybody that wants to participate or join us. We're here the 2nd and 4th Wednesday, 7:30 in the morning to 8:30. The council lets us use the room for our meeting. And so we're just grateful. I'm trying to think of anything else that we missed. We also have our other exchange clubs.
I finally have something.
Yay! Our other exchange clubs that help too. And
I don't think we could be as successful as well with the support of the city. So as far as especially the Parks and Rec crew, Bruce Holiak, Kim, thank you.
And Johnny.
And Johnny. Where's Johnny? Johnny's here. Oh, there he is. Just opening up the facilities that we could use the garage area and utilize some equipment, and the police department for being there and supporting. I mean, a huge support from all of you, so we appreciate that. We had, Councilman Cox and his wife there. We appreciate in years past we've had Councilman Brass and his wife Jennifer helping us. So we've had an awful lot of support, and we're so very grateful because we could not make a difference in the platforms in the areas and have the success we did if we didn't have the cooperation from everyone here as well. So thank you.
thank you so much.
One last question. Sherry,
Yeah.
now you get the youth involved in this also, then your youth exchange.
It's our
your
youth
chamber.
government.
Yeah.
They're our youth government, our youth chamber, and our youth excel. So we just call them Murray Youth Excel.
Just for fun, Sherry, tell everyone here how many events that you take on with the youth per year, about the things you do. You go down to Salt Lake City and
We're taking them to Legislation Day. I work for Red Cross. We actually took them to legislation in 2011 and got the bill changed so that 16-year-olds could donate. So that was super fun. But
you
getting
do like
them,
50 don't you do like 50 projects? I mean, when you're serving others, it's like you're constantly, those kids are amazing. Those high school kids are like,
It's either that or I'm in Craig's, I get in trouble. So I have to stay out of trouble that way and be a good example.
well,
for
during
else.
Christmas, I know you're busy. You've always been busy with the youth, so it's
Well,
it's-
thank you
it's
all for
amazing.
the
Thank you.
opportunity to work
Thanks,
with our,
Brian and
our
Jay.
youth in our
Yeah.
city, too. So that's
you.
the best part.
One more round.
Thanks, you guys are wonderful, and you enhance our community so much. I just have learned that if you want to get through, we always take our grandkids to the haunted woods, and you have to get there early. So anyway, just in case you want a little tip, but it's a wonderful program. Thanks so much for being in our community. Okay. All right, last of the special recognition, and that's Murray City Council Employee of the Month. And this month it is Karen Richards from the Building Division, and we have Brett Hales and Melinda Greenwood presenting.
Come on up here, Karen. Melinda's been up here all day. Get in front of her. So she's saying yes. Karen, this is Karen Richards, and Karen, you've been with us almost 5 years with Murray City, and we started this about 6-7 years ago, and we just wanted to recognize our employees, and Melinda submitted your name, and we just wanted to tell you how much as a council we appreciate you as an employee, and I know Melinda has a lot more to say about you, so I'll let Melinda do that, but we have your name will go back on that plaque there, and we'll follow that with the new City Hall, and then here's a certificate.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And then this information, and more importantly, we have that $50 gift card for you. So anyway, so we appreciate you as a council, and we know it's hard, and we just want to let you know that we recognize you and appreciate you. So thank you so much.
So Karen was actually the first employee that I met in my department when I started here last January. And I was very impressed by her and have continued to be impressed by her pretty much on a daily basis since. Karen works in our building permit division and is kind of the Scotch tape, glue, and duct tape of the department. There's three things that I really wanted to compliment Karen on, and the first is her attitude. She's always willing to help, always willing to pitch in when there's a question or information needs to be found. She's just always the person willing to do that. The second thing is that she has a knack for, I think, just retaining and understanding information. She's worked in the building permit, building code arena for most of her career, and she really knows the code pretty well, which is fantastic to have someone in your office. Building inspectors are out in the field, and to have someone in the office that really knows code and understands that. Murray City is very lucky to be able to have her on staff. And likewise, we have implemented a new software system that's been troublesome over the last couple of years, and it's just a lot different than what our employees have worked with previously. It's a little more complicated. Karen has mastered that and has kind of become the mentor in the department, not just for building division, but even for the other divisions within my department. And she's been able to really understand that, and has also spent a lot of time with IT sorting through some of the kind of software concerns. And she's really great. And then the third thing I wanted to tell you about Karen is just that she has the ability to also provide remarkable customer service. Obviously, a great attitude that I mentioned before helps with that, and being able to know and retain knowledge helps with that too. But I love to get compliments from people, and I do often, that have interacted with Karen, and they have expressed their gratitude towards her for being able to work through a problem, find a solution, or just be able to provide information. So, and then on a personal note, Karen has had some awesome life experiences this year, and she became a grandmother for the first time. So they have one granddaughter now, and I'm sure a few more to come, but that's been something exciting. And her husband, Jerry, is with her tonight. Karen is also the type of person that does not appreciate or like being in the spotlight. So I think, she gets the $50 gift card, but I won't tell you how much I had to pay her to agree to be here tonight. But the staff and the entire department definitely, when it was our turn, it was without hesitation, everyone mentioned Karen's name. And so we're happy to recognize her tonight. And I know in spirit, everyone else is here, but also they're honoring Karen's wish to not be too much in the spotlight. So they are not present this evening, but I appreciate, again, it goes back to her being a good sport about this as well. And she definitely just really helps make the building division function. So thanks, Karen, for all you do.
Karen, would you like to say something? Okay, no problem. We're just glad you're here. And that's your husband, right? Thank you for being here as well.
What's that?
He grew up in Murray.
Wow.
Yeah, Murray covers, Bill.
All right. Well,
Coming back home.
That's great.
that's good. All right, well, thank you. All right, well, we'll continue on quickly to citizen comments. And comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Step to the microphone, state your name and city of residence, and fill out the required form. We have public hearings as well. This is not the time for them. This is citizen comments. So is there anyone who would like to address the council?
My name is Janice Strobel, and I live in Murray. And I wanted to take the time to publicly thank Jim Brass for the amazing service he has done. I have been able to work with him closely, probably for half of his time in the city council. And the thing that I think has been so appreciated, that I have so appreciated, is how quickly he will respond to a question or a query that I've had. And whether or not he had the answer right at the time, he acknowledged that he had gotten the message, and I really, really appreciate that. The communication was just very quick and immediate. And then if he didn't have the answer, he got it very quickly. And he works so well with all of those here in Murray City and the staff. And you'll be missed, and you've left an amazing legacy. And I do look forward to working with Rosalba in our district and continuing the amazing work you've done. And just thanks again for being as open as you were with me, because I know sometimes it might not have been that easy, but I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. That's very kind.
Any more citizen comments? Okay, seeing none, we'll continue. The consent. We'll continue to the consent agenda. And Mayor Camp presenting. Okay, so first we'll consider the confirmation of the mayor's appointment of Cammie Monk to the Arts Advisory Board for a 3-year term to expire on January 15th, 2023. Second, we'll consider confirmation of the mayor's reappointment of David Hunter to the Murray City Center District Design Review Committee for a 3-year term to expire January 1st, 2023. Mayor Camp.
Thank you. I hope you take the opportunity to look at the resumes. We continue to be so fortunate to get very good, qualified people to serve on our boards and commissions. And Cammie Monk brings to us really a wealth of experience in arts, and particularly in performing arts. And we're very fortunate to have her serve on our Arts Advisory Board. And Cammie is here this evening. Would you mind standing and waving? And we really appreciate it. If you haven't had a chance to look at her resume, please do. It's very impressive. And so, Cammie, thank you. We also are asking you to consider the reappointment of David Hunter to the DRC. I don't believe David's here tonight. It's a reappointment. I don't see him here. So, but he has been on for a short time. He filled an unfinished term of, I don't remember who, frankly, but this will be a full-term appointment for him now. So we ask for your approval.
Okay, can we take those together? The consent agenda, okay. I would consider a motion.
I will move approval of the consent agenda as read.
I'll second that.
Is there discussion? Okay. Call the roll, please. Jennifer?
Aye.
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 Aye. All right, now we're at the public hearings portion. And we have 2 public hearings. And so I will read the resolution, and then we'll continue from there. 1, consider a resolution declaring certain real property located at approximately 147 to 179 East Myrtle Avenue, Murray City, Salt Lake County, State of Utah, surplus. GL Critchfield will be presenting. GL.
Thank you. State law requires anytime the city wants to sell, exchange, dispose of real property, and when it's a significant parcel, that we declare it surplus first. As you know, we're trying to get to the point where we can exchange some property between the RDA and the city for City Hall, the new City Hall. And tonight your consideration is a resolution to declare as surplus property owned by the city that's just behind us, this school district property. If declared as surplus, the exchange would be just between the city and the RDA. It would not go out to the public. That is the essence of it. And if you have questions, I'm happy to entertain any of those.
Okay. I will then open it up for public comment. And if you have comments, would you please fill out the public comment form, turn it in to Jan Lopez, step to the microphone, direct your comments to the council, state your name and address, and your comments for 3 minutes or less. So are there any comments? Okay. I will then close the public comment period. Are there any questions? Since we don't have a sponsor. So are there any questions from the council?
Nope.
No.
All right. Then I will consider a motion.
I'll move that we approve a resolution declaring this certain real property located at approximately 147-179 East Myrtle Avenue, Murray City, Salt Lake County, State of Utah, as surplus.
All right,
I'll second.
Is there discussion on the motion? Jennifer, will you call the roll?
Aye.
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 Aye. Okay, motion passes. Now the second one is to consider confirmation of the mayor's, no, that's wrong. The second one is to consider an ordinance amending the city's fiscal year 2019 to 2020 budget. Brenda Moore is presenting.
So this is just an amendment to the 2019-2020 budget. We discussed it in committee of the whole. Couple highlights. I'm not increasing the budget, but we need to add a budget addendum so that we can donate or give Seven Canyons Trust, who is another nonprofit, $2,000 to study the right-of-ways and the waterways in Salt Lake County. I have I have like 7 grants that we have received or received last year that I need to move into this year's budget. One of which is $2,541 from the police department's Movember Growing Beards donations so that the police officers could sport beards for the last 3 months. I think that's a very good result of all those nice, lots of them were a little bit gray. It was really interesting. We're transferring some projects between Class C and Capital Projects Fund. We're not moving any money, but you needed to be aware of the names of the projects and which fund is doing what. Mostly this is being done so that the city crews can do some of the smaller projects, which Class C does not allow. We also sold some equipment at surplus, so we're giving Parks and Rec Department back the trade-in value because they actually made an extra $11,000 selling it on surplus as opposed to trading it in, so we're giving them back $5,300. It's a good use of the city's money. I inadvertently pulled some budget, when I rolled the budget over from last year to this year for some projects. I pulled some projects out of reserves when they needed to we haven't been paid for them yet, so I needed to move them back into revenue. So we will be adding back $2.7 million into the Capital Projects Reserve Fund. And then the cost of insurance for power has gone up, so the risk fund and the power fund both need to be adjusted to pay for that. And then Central Garage missed just a little thing. We listed a capital project and then forgot to put it in the budget. So we're going to pull that out of reserve so that they can have a swamp cooler that is actually located on top of the building, not in the building. So
novel concept.
It is a novel concept. They're really appreciative. They think this is going to be great to keeping themselves cool. So those are the amendments that are on this particular budget amendment.
Great. Thank you, Brenda. Okay, I will open this for public comment. Same rules apply, same process. Okay, seeing no public comments, then I will close the public comment period and take it to the council for questions. No questions? All right, I will consider a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve an ordinance amending the city's fiscal year 2019 to 2020 budget.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Is there a discussion on the motion? All right, Jennifer?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now we come to the business items. We have 5 of those, so we'll get started with number 1, and that is to consider a resolution to acknowledge completion and receipt of the independent audit for fiscal year 2018 and 2019, and order that notice be published pursuant to Section 10-6-152 of the Utah Code. Brenda Moore presenting.
So last week I gave you all a copy of the 130-page book known as the CAFR, our annual report. HBME concluded the audit and helped me write that this year. So this resolution is just to acknowledge that you have received it, that we have completed the audit, and I will be posting it on the website tomorrow. I'm sending it up to the state auditor's office so that it will be on theirs. And Jennifer will post whatever she's supposed to post. It will be out there for everyone to see and review and and see what the city is doing. I find it highly entertaining, especially the management discussion and analysis, because it does go into the history a little bit of the city and what's going on. So,
Yeah, it is.
so that's your resolution that you have before you.
All right. Thank you. Any questions?
Comments? Look how positive Brenda is. There's no findings on her. She certainly should find it entertaining because that was good. No, that's a big compliment to you, Brenda. No findings, because that's very unusual. So.
Yes. Okay. I would consider a motion.
I'll move we adopt the resolution acknowledging completion receipt of the independent audit for fiscal year 2018-2019.
I'll second.
Great. Is there a discussion on the motion? Okay. Jennifer, would you call the roll?
Aye.
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 Aye. All right, business number 2. Business item number 2 is to consider a resolution of the Murray City Municipal Council declaring Murray City's intent and reasonable expectation to reimburse expenditures in connection with the renovation of the Murray Theater with proceeds of future tax-exempt and/or tax credit bonds. Brenda Moore presenting.
3 in a row. This is my last one. Okay. So as you know, we're in the process of renovating the Murray Theater. Architects and construction manager are working on the plans, and I'm working on how to finance that and how to pay for our half of the remodeling costs. The county track funds are paying for the other half. So in order to keep all of my options open, and as we go forward, this is just a reimbursement resolution. It does not commit us to bonding. It only says that if we bond, we intend to reimburse ourselves for the costs that are being incurred now. So it doesn't mean we are going to, it just leaves open the option, and it allows us to reimburse ourselves for what we're paying now. So that's what the resolution is before you. If we ever decide to bond on this, there'll be lots of discussions, and there'll be at least 2 more meetings where we discuss it. This is just a reimbursement resolution.
Okay, are there questions for Brenda?
Brenda, I like the way that you phrased it this time. that it's, because I know that was a concern of mine and Diane's mainly, but I also had that same concern. But I like the way that you put if, because my concern was that we didn't want to rely on that for the
Right.
bond. But I also don't want to have the opportunity to lose our 3.5 grand either. And so, yeah, I like the way this resolution is written.
I have real concerns about bonding. I mean, I know we've just done 2 other bonds, and I really don't want to bond for this unless we absolutely have to. So I think we need to really look for other sources.
I agree with you. So we will.
Okay.
It just leaves the possibility open.
Right. Okay. Any other questions or? All right, then I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve a resolution of Murray City Municipal Council declaring Murray City's intent and reasonable expectation to reimburse expenditures in connection with the renovation of Murray Theater with the proceeds of future tax-exempt and/or tax credit bonds.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion on the motion? Okay, Jennifer.
Aye.
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 Aye. Okay. Number 3 is to consider a resolution approving the 2019 Murray City Water Conservation Plan. Danny Estel.
So tonight I'm not going to make Corey come up here, and he showed up, but I'm not going to make him come. So as you recall from last week, every 5 years we're required to restate our goals and redo our conservation plan. And that's what this plan is. So hopefully you've had a chance to go through it. We've adopted these conservation plans since basically 2000. And when the state says we need to start reducing our per capita use, and if you recall, per capita use is per person per house. So currently our per capita is 211 gallons per capita per day, so per person per day. So which is high, but it's low for the county. So we're actually doing pretty good, and we've made significant roads since 2000, but we have more work to do. The recent Wasatch Front regional goals have been set, and so we need to take those goals and which are incorporated in this plan, and work to meet those goals by 2030. But is that date. But I think we can do it before then with some of the things that we've outlined in here, and we have plans to move forward on some new things as well. So what you have before you is the resolution adopting this plan so that we can submit that to the state. Any questions?
Questions for Danny?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve a resolution approving the 2019 Murray City Water Conservation Plan.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Is there a discussion on the motion? Okay, Jennifer.
Aye.
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 Aye. Okay. Number 4 is to consider an ordinance amending Section 3.10.370 of the Murray City Municipal Code relating to requiring qualified health plans in the procurement of building improvements and public works projects. Dave Nick-Ponsky is presenting. Dave?
I just want to clarify on that ordinance proposal where it says relating to requiring. We would not be required. It would be an incentive. So I would substitute requiring with an incentive. So that's what we're asking for, is an incentive for those subcontractors when they apply for work in particular areas, building improvements and public works projects. Thank you.
Okay. So do you want to restate that?
Sure. I'll move that we consider an ordinance amending Section 3.10.370 of the Murray City Municipal Code relating to an incentive for qualified health plans in the procurement of building improvements and public works projects.
Okay. Any questions for Dave?
I'll second the motion.
I was just going to say I'm fine with require.
No kidding. No. I know you were.
Yeah.
All right, we have a motion that says incentive and a second. Is there any further discussion on the motion? Okay. Jennifer?
Aye.
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 Aye. Number 5 is to consider a resolution approving a letter of support for Salt Lake County's application to Wasatch Front Regional Council's Transportation and Land Use Connection Program for the 7 Greenways Visioning Plan. Dale Cox presenting.
We had a presentation here several weeks ago from 7 Greenways Visioning Plan, and what this will, and we had a budget amendment today to give them the $2,000. This is a study that will study mostly the east side of Salt Lake Valley, the waterways that come out of the canyons as to what we can do to improve, find green space, and such as that. The only commitment the city has is the $2,000. They will, this group will come up with a plan for all cities that are members of this, and then we can decide what we want to do, whether we can do or what we want to do. The only obligation of the city is to receive the plans, and then from that point on, it becomes our prerogative to do what we can.
Okay. GL, you had some concerns about that. Are you okay with it? Is it?
Yeah, originally there was some language in a proposed letter of support that suggested that we may be committing more than what we had said at the, or what we had acknowledged at the committee of the whole. And so that's been omitted from the letter. But what Dell said is accurate. We've committed to the 2,000. Beyond that, we're not committed. We will see the plan. The 2,000 also, by the way, is not needed until this coming summer. But in any event, they're going to, county will go ahead and produce the plan when they can, and we will get a chance to see what the recommendations are for Murray City.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you were okay with that. All right. I'll consider a motion.
I'll move we adopt the resolution approving a letter of support for Salt Lake County's application to Wasatch Front Regional Council's Transportation and Land Use Connection Program for the 7 Greenways Visioning Plan.
I'll second that.
Is there any further discussion? Okay. Jennifer.
Aye.
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 Aye. All right. We're at the portion for the mayor's report and questions from the council for the mayor. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. I want to express appreciation to those who attended or had part of in the tree lighting event last Saturday. It was a great event, as it usually is. We really appreciate the work of the power department, the fire department, the police department, and of course the Shade Tree Commission, who has a large part in that. So, and thank you to those who came. It was an enjoyable event. For your information, if you haven't been through the park today, we've begun demolition of the pavilions. Pavilion 1 is now gone.
Wow.
2 and 3 are being worked on. And Pavilion 4 is fenced off, so they're moving along so they can get the site work done in preparation for the new pavilions to be installed in the spring. So that's actually very exciting. Just a side note, I got a picture sent from Kim earlier today, and I happened to be sitting next to Phil Markham, who, as you know, has many, many years with the City Parks Department. And I showed the picture to him, and he immediately recognized that was Pavilion 1 going down, and he commented on he was just a pup when that went up down there. He worked for the city for a long time. But anyway, this is an exciting change, and he acknowledged also that it's an exciting improvement for our park. I just wanted to let the council know that yesterday afternoon we participated in a bond rating presentation for the new City Hall bond with Moody's in San Francisco, and we were able to do this over video conferencing instead of making the trip to San Francisco, which saved us a lot of money. And so it seemed to go very well, and we should have our rating back in probably a couple of weeks. And we had representatives from Stiefel there, Preston Kirk and Matt Dugdale, and our staff, and it was, like I say, it went very well. So we'll let you know as soon as we know what that rating is. Finally, I just wanted to remind, I know that you were reminded earlier about the Operation Cover-Up and Coats for Kids events. But for the public, a reminder that this event is tomorrow from 4 to 7 p.m. at our Fire Station 82 on 996 East Vine Street. Stop by. It'll be a fun event. Bring coats, blankets, scarves, mittens, whatever, of all sizes for people of all ages that need them. So, and thank you, Chief Middleman, for the involvement of the fire department in doing this year after year. This is a new twist this year in involving the Coats for Kids, which I think is great also. So that is all I had, unless you have some questions.
Any questions for the mayor? Okay, this is our last council meeting of the year. Hard to believe. So we'll see you in 2020, and happy holidays. We're adjourned.